I got laid off today. It's not looking cute because I have to move next month. I have a car payment tomorrow, gotta pay rent. And it's not giving thriving currently, it's giving recession. I don't know if anyone else is experiencing this right now, but I don't know if this is my cue to become a full-time influencer, but I'm literally like, what's the plan? Like, I don't know. I'm a little bit scared and a lot of bit faithful that I'm gonna figure it out. Crazy though. It's real out here.
I guess my question would be, what are you trying to influence at this point?
Anyone?
Getting crushed by capitalism is like so cringe, but it's like it's happening to me. And like I got a PhD from Berkeley and like I can't get a job to save my life. Like I got a soil biology PhD and
what?
Like now I'm a tutor and a babysitter, and like part of that is because like I don't want to like move to some random place in the middle of nowhere. But like the other half is like they cut all the funding for science and like it is just like absolutely cratered, and like I have long COVID, so it's difficult for me to work like a full-time job, and just like I got on here to rant a little bit. But like, oh my God, like what do we do?
I mean, how much were you expected to make from that anyway? Why were you studying that at Berkeley anyway, as well? Like, what are we doing? I mean, we're just out here floating in the wind. I mean, follow your passion, in my opinion, sure, but dang, what are we doing? Freaking Chris Hansen, what was your plan here today?
What is your plan here tonight?
I
$830.27. Anybody want to guess what that is? You won't guess. So I'm just going to share it with you. That is my electric bill this month. Okay? That is less than last month. Our bill last month was $1,130.98.
You must stay at a farm.
Sorry, it's insane. That is my mortgage payment plus more. Okay? I don't know how anybody is expected to pay that. So, I mean, our house is big. It's not huge. It's not a mansion. It's about 2,500, 5 bedrooms, 3 baths. We had 5 children. Our bills with our children, all 5 living at home, were between $400 and $700 a month. So the company, they've come out. We live beside a restaurant. We were adamant that we were paying the electric company's bill also. I mean, it's ridiculous. Who can afford even $400 a month for electricity, but they expect us to pay $830 or $1,130.
I don't know what
so,
running
yeah,
all day.
I logged in this morning to see what our bill was when it was due, $830.27. If you've been here with us for a little while at all, or if you're new, our goal with TikTok was to take our grandchildren to Disney World in February. House booked, but we have to pay for the tickets and the flights and food and stuff while we're there. Last month, my bill from my student loans came. I didn't forget about the loans. I just forgot that they were coming up due. I forgot I had them on deferment for a year, so those are now due. So now TikTok is helping pay my student loans. So Disney is not getting much money. So now we're just going to TikTok and DoorDash and sell plasma and do what we need to do just to pay our bills. It's a little ridiculous. You can't survive in the world anymore. So here's the thing. If you see one of our videos and you haven't followed us,
having to text your manager that you're going to be late because you're taking your daughter to her first day of school and there was a lot of things going on. It's just like, it's almost like you're a child. And like, it should just be fine to be late. Like, it literally should just be fine to be late unless it's affecting others. but I have to call and I have to check in with somebody and let them know that I'm going to be late when I'm doing something perfectly reasonable. I'm getting my daughter to her first day of school. I'm making sure that her father has the car tag so that when he picks her up, they know that she belongs to him. I shouldn't have to check in and let someone know about that. And then I miss all day with my kids to come in here and earn not even a living. And I missed all that time. I can't even take off to go have lunch with my kid. Like, I can't even, by the time I get home, I'm so drained, I can't even enjoy my kid. And like, I just wonder what that does to our children psychologically, you know? And we talk about it a lot on this app, like, why didn't our parents try harder to level up for us to have a better life? Like a lot of our parents talk, and I'm seeing how I'm repeating that cycle because I'm at this dead-end job. I'm not respected. I'm not looked after. Nobody gives a shit. And I'm giving my time for money just to be able to pay bills, not to have anything extra. And I gotta check in with somebody just to be able to take my daughter to school on the first day. I live an hour or so away from this place. An hour here in an hour. I don't know how the sound is affected by my car cutting on, but yeah, I think I'm done. Like, I don't know if tomorrow will be my last day, but like, I know I'm done.
Why do you have to call in and check with somebody that you told that you were going to be there at a certain time? I don't know. I mean, maybe it's called keeping your word and letting them know. I really don't understand that question.
Sitting outside of this building for an interview. Mind you, I just left a job that I'm not too crazy about. But usually I would be like nervous and like worked up and like, you know, trying to think of answers. I don't even care. Like, it is what it is. If y'all gonna hire me, cool. If y'all not gonna hire me, cool. But I know either way, it's not gonna be enough. So, you know, it is what it is.
So I don't normally ever come on here and post anything except of my dog because he's absolutely gorgeous. But I am extremely frustrated being a full-time employed person living in Florida and not being able to afford to live. I have spent my whole day off trying to find a, you know, more affordable place to live because I can't afford $1,300 a month in rent and then a $650 car note and $300 in insurance and then you got utilities
$300 a month
and you know, it's just it's either I eat or I pay my bills, and then even then it's like, okay, well, which bill's gonna be late this month? And I'm so sick of it. These apartment complexes and realtors and even private renters, fuck you so fucking hard. And I mean that with everything in me. I nor anybody else should be working 60 hours a week and not be able to live. I'm about to crash the fuck. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me losing my mind. I don't know. But I'm about to lose my...
Again, I guess I don't understand it. I do understand the pain of it, but I guess from my point of view, like, what else are you going to do? You're supposed to be working. I mean, $1,400 doesn't, I mean, depending on if it's a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom, that doesn't seem like it's too bad depending on where you stay at. $600, my car note is not that high and I have an SUV. So maybe she has terrible credit. So that might be why she got a higher percentage there. I'm not sure. I just think it comes down to making better decisions. And it takes time from a young person to a more experienced person to say, man, I could have done this instead of that. And so it's just a growing pain of life. But I think a lot of people, modern women specifically, they don't want to go through the growing pains. And that's the trouble that they're having.
Is the women's hustle culture coming to an end? I see more and more women, especially moms, saying that they don't want to work anymore. They don't want to do this hustle, grind, not see their kids, not see their family, not make home cooked meals, not be there when their husband gets home. I'm not saying that you can't work,
Well, y'all not gonna make no home cooked meals anyway. Y'all not gonna be cooking. So it don't matter whether you're at work or not working. Y'all said y'all wouldn't go and do it anyway.
can't do, a little job on the side to make a little bit of money. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the hustle, the career woman, the women being the breadwinners, hustling to where they have a nanny raising their kids. They don't see their kids at all. They don't see their husband. They don't see their family. They're not making dinners because they don't have time. Maybe they enjoy cooking, but they literally can't because they don't have time. They're gone all day long. I don't know if our bodies were meant for that kind of stress.
They weren't. This is what men try to warn you of.
Maybe our bodies are craving downtime, craving family time, craving time with our kids. Maybe women are starting to wake up to that.
I got a DHS letter in the mail this morning, and I just now opened it. And somebody reported me to the state of Michigan because I'm making money on TikTok, and I drive a 2024 BMW. They have cut my food stamps from almost $4,000 a month down to $88 a month. They are telling me if I want a review,
$4,000 a month is a salary for most people.
I have cut my food stamps from almost $4,000 a month down to $88 a month. They are telling me if I want a review that I have to sell my car. So you're telling me if you were on welfare, food stamps, cash assistance, Section 8, you can't drive a nice car? They are forcing me to sell my brand new BMW, or I lose almost $4,000 in food stamps. Not only that, they have taken my cash assistance totally away. They are telling me that Section 8 will no longer be paying 95% of my rent.
Do you think that this is the smartest thing to do, to post all of this on social media so they can look at your social media like, yeah, we were justified?
Only 10% of my rent. So I will have to pay a little over $400 a month now instead of $60 a month. They cannot do this. They cannot make me sell my car. They cannot cut my food stamps. Has anybody else been in a similar situation? What do I do? What kind of rights do I have? Because I can't work, but I'm not selling my car. But I also need the $4,000 of food stamps. So I'm at a point
that if you look up any research on loneliness, which is an epidemic in the United States, you'll actually see that men and women rank pretty evenly in all the research for years. In fact, when I looked at it, there was only one study that revealed men ranking just a little bit higher than women. I think that was like 2020 or 2021. In fact, women are typically higher than men in loneliness research because men have a shorter life expectancy, which means many women are left widowed or unpartnered. So of course, they're going to report being lonely. The problem with calling it a male loneliness epidemic is that resources are not focused on women, and women feel isolated and feeling lonely when we don't have a people loneliness epidemic, rather a male loneliness epidemic. And taking it a step further, not only are we erased from the problem, we are blamed for the male loneliness epidemic.
At some point in time, when is it not going to be about you? Not everything is about you.
And make more false allegations than women.
Well, if nothing else, this should be interesting.
I see men on this app constantly making false allegations of silence to push a point.
Let's be very clear here. They are actually stating that men who are making accusations of assault are making it up.
And I've never seen a woman do that. Men also will say that they've been falsely accused of SA when in reality, they didn't.
So when it comes to men and SA, they are automatically guilty. There's no innocent until proven guilty. But if a man says something about a woman doing it, they're lying.
And we know that the majority of the time when a woman says something happened to them, it's true. When it comes to SA, men love to lie and say that they didn't do it and blame the actions solely on the woman, when in reality, you did it, and you are right now making a false accusation against the woman, stating that she falsely accused you.
Circular logic is always the most fun to try to follow, isn't it?
And I'm sorry, but you're gonna start needing to provide proof that you were falsely accused. Because if I have to provide proof that I was assaulted, you need to provide proof that you were truly falsely accused before I can believe you.
It is entirely possible they've never actually heard of why there is this thing called the burden of proof. Nor have they apparently heard how difficult it actually is to prove a negative.
At the time, asked for a break. And, obviously I wasn't too excited about that. Then I found her with a family member of mine.
Oh, nice. Who?
Cousin.
Dude, cue the banjos, man. Is this a big shock to you?
So she had a couple of instances of infidelity prior to that I had found on her devices. She always swore it was nothing physical. It was just talking or exchanging pictures and stuff. So, I tried to move past that beforehand, but, got to this, and this was a huge shock. We have a 3-year-old daughter, so, that made it.
I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah. She actually, the ex-wife, we ended up going through all that, got the divorce last year. She has since moved in with said cousin. They actually just had a child on almost the year anniversary of me finding all of this out. I just kind of feel like, I'm just kind of floating in the wind. The days that I don't have my daughter, are obviously really hard. It's really hard to find motivation to get up and do much of anything.
Yeah. I can't wrap my head around the pain you've experienced. Well, I mean, just to put it down on a piece of paper, you're faced with this shock, right? That your body's failing you, right? And there's that sense of being betrayed by your own body, especially in a tough time. And most people don't realize that can happen over a weekend until it happens over a weekend, right? That you have a pain, all of a sudden that pain is real bad, and then you got kidney stones, and all of a sudden that's a nightmare. And then on top of forgiveness and your wife betraying, here's the thing, you knew for a while and you ignored your own gut for whatever reason, and see that come true is devastating. And then I wouldn't wish, I've said this before on the show, I don't like to be gone from my son or my daughter for 3 days, much less just know, this is the rest of her childhood, is I get week on, week off. Mm-hmm. And then the extra kick in the teeth is, cool, she just moved in with a family member and had a kid with him. Just a slap in the face on top of a slap in the face, man. So let me just say this. Your body's right to just want to get under the covers and not get out. And I know there's a sense of, on top of the shame, on top of I should have listened to my gut, on top of all that stuff, there's this sense that your body's not working right. And I might be the only mental health professional that would tell you, no, your body's working perfectly. This idea that your body just feels like you don't want to curl up and I want to stay on the couch under a blanket, not want to move. I just want to be here. That feeling is right. We're not going to live there, but I want you to know that sense makes sense to me.
And this is the part that modern women don't understand, that men go through. Well, you guys don't have any emotions. You don't communicate effectively. They actually do. It's just that a lot of times you guys don't care and you continue to do what you want anyway.
I'm so tired of hearing about the male loneliness epidemic, so let's talk about the female loneliness epidemic, because we're experiencing one too. The one where men treat you like you're some fantasy object, and the moment they realize you're an actual human being with thoughts, feelings, and emotions, they're gone. Or when they want you for your body, but never have any intention of actually getting to know it or respecting it. Or when they want you for your emotional intelligence, even though they have no intention of ever reciprocating it. Or when they want you for what you can do for them, but they don't want you for who you are. That's loneliness. Crying yourself to sleep every night next to a partner who claims to love you even though his actions never follow his words, that's loneliness. Being too afraid to open yourself up to love and opening yourself up to men because we live in a world where SA, domestic violence, and femicide is so normalized, that's loneliness. The difference is that the male loneliness epidemic is self-inflicted and the female loneliness epidemic is self-preservation.
What do you personally think is wrong with dating today?
I feel like they give princess treatment, like they're not men.
Said princess treatment?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like men need princess treatment?
They don't want to be like men, you know?
Ah, okay. All right. No more men?
I think the problem is that men like to be petty and sassy, and they wait for you to text them first.
Yeah.
They wait for you to slide up on their stories, and
true.
it's like, I'm the girl, so I'm not gonna do that, so we're not gonna go anywhere.
All right, tell your man slay queen.
Yeah.
All right, what do you think?
I think that social media just sets super unrealistic standards for relationships, and like, it fucks everything up. So, yeah. Men suck. I think social media just like puts like them in a whole nother world, like, bro.
I mean, y'all are pretty good looking. You guys look amazing. So I'm pretty sure that you guys get hella DMs. Yeah?
I can't say.
I can't say.
Can't say, huh? Okay. And one last question for you guys. Why don't men chase anymore?
Because they're girls. They want to be girls.
Because men think they're the prize now. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, they think they're all that. They're not.
What's your names?
Alani,
Naomi,
Ruby.
Okay. And where are y'all from?
We're from like the IE. Yeah.
Okay.
Just be a man.
Be a man for them. All right. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Bye.
Where did we find?
You know, in any situation, these modern women, man, especially the younger ladies, they be so full of themselves. And I can't even say especially the younger ladies, because you have a lot of older women now, seasoned women that should know better, talking just as silly as this.
Got back from a date. I am so over this. So we went to sushi. It was our 4th date. We have not kissed yet. And like, I'm thinking like, are we into this? Are we not into this? Like, what's happening? Most of the time I'm asking him a bunch of questions and I'm trying to keep the conversation engaged. And look, there's characteristics about him that were great. But then we get to the nightcap bar where we're having like a little after dinner drink. I just go, do you have any questions for me? Like, is there anything you want to ask? Is there like anything you want to know? I'm an open book. Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know. Do you just have any questions that you want to ask? Just not really a question guy. Cool. Yeah. No, totally get it. Not a question guy. No worries. I'll just break my back carrying this conversation the rest of the night. Thanks so much. He also told me that if I died tomorrow, he wouldn't care.
You wouldn't care either. Y'all don't know each other. You would feel the same way. Oh, that's so sad. And continue drinking your latte. Stop acting like you're so much better than everybody else.
Girls want to date an entrepreneur until they see what comes with being with an entrepreneur. You think for 1 second that dating an entrepreneur, especially one that is successful, means you get freedom? Take it from me. I'm sitting at the office of the entrepreneur right now, where he's getting 2 jobs for the price of 1. He's 24/7, and I'm out here being 24/7 with him. When I started dating my fiance, he basically told me from the get-go, I want to end up with someone that supports me in my goals and my dreams. That's the one thing I'll never give up. I was like, oh, that sounds easy enough. No, I'm out here in the trenches. If you want to be with someone that's uber successful, you need to know that you will most likely come in a lot of seasons second to the business. And you need to be so okay with that, like so for real okay with that. You might even lose some friends over this because some of your friends will not be able to relate. If they're with someone that's in a 9-to-5 and you're with someone that's actively building a business, they will not understand your suffering. And let me tell you another thing. These guys have such high expectations of you. More than you have for yourself. As their partner, you need to level up. And the reason why is because there's going to be a lot of hard days. And you're going to be out there in the trenches with them as literally God's strongest soldier. Top of all of this, let's just add the fact that they love delayed gratification. So the moment they achieve their goal, they're going to kick the ball down the road and they're going to have another goal to achieve. It's never ending. So you just better get used to the cycle. I feel so blessed to be with someone that has goals and dreams and is so ambitious. I want him to achieve all those things and I want to be right there to support him. All I'm saying is, if you want to have a life of leisure, go find a man in finance, because I'm telling you right now, these guys, no, they're hardwired differently. The hunt is better than the kill. They're always on the chase. So best of luck to you out here, because it's hard. It's hard out here.
I just hope when that man gets busy, y'all don't be nagging him about how he be at work all the time and he never has any time for you.
Men do not play hard to get. Work is just so crazy. I'm just so busy. I am going to hold your hand when I say this, and you're going to want to save this video for later. I have been on dates with men who are actually busy, men with companies, men who are executives, and you know what they are excellent at? Prioritization and running their calendar. So you want to know the difference between the guy who is actually busy and the one who couldn't give a damn about you? I will tell you. The guy who is actually busy responds to your message and says, I have back-to-back meetings all day. Let me call you at 7 and we'll figure this out. He calls you at 7, you guys figure it out, and it's handled. But the guy who couldn't give a damn about you, there's no consistency. There's no follow through. He keeps telling you all the things that he wants to do, and then he sits on his ass and he does absolutely nothing about it. But the guy who actually follows through, don't get it twisted. He's not doing it for you. He's doing it because that's who the hell he is. That's how he built his life. That's how he earned his success. And how you do one thing is how you do everything. The guy who is genuinely busy might not always be available, but he will never leave you guessing where you two stand, and his actions reflect it. And the best part about dealing with men like this is they free up your mental space. You're in your feminine energy. You're on top of you're focused on your fitness, your business. One guy will move mountains for you, help you build an empire, looking the best you've ever looked. The other guy will have you on a first-class flight to the lowest point of your life, looking like a rat.
Just as long as you understand that the man is busy and that you accept his style of communication. That's it. A lot of times modern women want all of the focus of a busy man to go directly to them, knowing that that man has been busy before.
First date in over 9 months, and I have some really interesting takeaways that I would like to share. For starters, I would like to say that the man that I went on this date with was objectively like everyone's definition of a 10 out of 10. Basically the definition of every stereotypical modern day woman's ideal type. Above 6 foot, tattoos, makes 6 figures, nice car, owns his own place, you know how it goes. And I'll explain in a second why this is really relevant information.
But I thought you said that most women don't like that. I thought that's what women keep on telling us, that it's all a figment of our imagination.
I have nothing negative to say about this man. The date was great. It was like 3 hours long. He was a gentleman. Like on paper, everything was perfect. But what I realized while on this date is something that I have known to be true like my entire adult life. Just because someone is like the most attractive person ever, just because someone has all of these things that look good on paper does not actually mean that you're going to be attracted to them. Again, I was like mesmerized by this man the entire time we were together. Like I was just looking at him like, how are you even a real person? But I wasn't like attracted to him. There was nothing about his presence that was giving like, this is someone that you connect with really well. And this is why I have such a problem with dating apps. And I finally can understand now why they say that like 80% of women are going for the same 20% of guys.
But once again, I thought y'all were continuing to tell us that was just a figment of our imagination.
Because when I think about myself and my adult life so far, every single man that has been, I guess, like the most relevant, or every single man that I have been in some sort of relationship was not objectively attractive, like at all. In fact, if I had seen any of these men on a dating app, I would 1000% have swiped left. I'd also like to add that all of these men were men that I met in the wild, naturally, and there was just something about their energy that I connected with. And even when I did first meet them, I wasn't necessarily super attracted to them, but the more that I spoke to them, I obviously grew attracted to them. It makes me wonder how many women are swiping left on men that could actually be really, really good for them. Because let's be so for real, no one's going to be swiping right on someone that they see right away, and it isn't someone that their brain is like, ooh, I think this is attractive with. And it just made me realize, like, I'm not attracted to the 10 out of 10 men. Do I think they are attractive? Of course I do. I think anyone with eyes can think someone's attractive. But chances are the person that I'm actually going to be really attracted to, like on a soul level, isn't going to be like this model type looking man that most of us are swiping right on dating apps. And this is like why I just struggle so much getting behind this idea of intentional dating and like looking for a partner, because I know for a fact that my person is 100% probably not someone I would ever A, like find on an app, but B, swipe right on. Because I know that I'm attracted to someone's energy when I am interacting with them face to face without the pressure of it being a date. And granted, yes, you can do that on a dating app. Like you can match with someone and then text for a little bit and then meet in person and decide if there's a vibe there. But for someone like me who is deeply intuitive and sensitive to energy, it is extremely difficult to like know if you click with someone simply from swiping right on them and then having just like very surface level conversation over text. So the moral of the story here, I guess, is that like being attracted to someone is so much different than just like noticing that they're attractive. It's just crazy to think that when I'm on a dating app, I'm matching with people that are probably the people that I honestly would be turned off by if I were to meet them in real life. But because the way that dating apps work, like you look at someone's picture and you look at like a quick summary of some basic information about them. And then you have to decide in a split second whether or not you actually want to match with that person or not. Versus in real life, you get to see how someone interacts with other people. You get to see someone like in their natural habitat. You get to feel their energy without there being any added pressure. And again, it's just really frustrating how I know for a fact that the people that I probably would actually be really attracted to, like both physically, mentally, emotionally, are people that I would never think twice to swipe right on an app, because you just simply cannot read energy like that on an app.
You know, to her credit, she's pretty much always been honest. Quite literally, almost every video she makes, regardless of how silly, I'll say it like that, it might make her look, she gets on here over and over again and just flat out tells the truth. If she says, you know what, I'm lonely, I need a man, I'm wanting a man, I'm not gonna lie to you. If she needs to break down and cry, she'll do that. She'll, regardless of if anybody's saying, now see what I told you, like me, she gonna get on there and say it again. She got a new haircut, nice place in the background. She not worried about me. She worried about living her truth, regardless of if her truth is delusional or not. That don't seem to matter to her. And I would suspect it don't matter to the vast majority of modern women. It don't matter that they keep on running into the same type of guys, the same 20%, if the same girl that you, even if it's your friend, is trying to date the same man that you are. It don't matter. We gonna all get on here and talk about the same problems we continue to go through. Even though a man done told us, y'all are running into these same guys. You got all these men out here waiting for your... She could probably get a lot of attention from somebody. Somebody wanting to take care of this woman. But once again, like she said, man, this guy on paper, A1. But I wasn't really attracted to him. What was that meme or that joke about a woman going into like a mall or something like that? Or like a space, and then on the first floor, I can't remember if it was like 6 floors or whatever, but a man might go into the space and they say, man, this woman's got all the things that you want or something like that, and then he says, I love it, let's do it. So he never gets to see what's on the other floors because he stops right there on like the first or second floor. But a woman will go all the way up to the 6th floor. Hey, this guy loves you unconditionally, he's this and this. Now I want to see what's up there. And then, hey, this guy's the same thing, but he got money. Now I want to see a little bit more. Hey, this guy has the same thing, and so on and so forth, until they build the perfect man. She gets to the perfect man, and then she says, I want to see what else is out there. And she gets up to the top floor and it's nothing there, because there is no making a woman happy. That was the point of it. That was the gist of it. But that's exactly what this sounds like. And they continue to say that men are delusional. It's just a figment of our imagination.
Married about 3.5 years. 2 years in on the dot. It happened actually the night before our 2-year anniversary. My wife had a little bit of a break, that's to put it lightly, and she ended up having an affair. There was an emotional affair that had gone on for months before that I was very much aware of. And, you know, we would talk about it. It would go away. It would come back up. And then I think it all boiled over in a physical affair with a completely different guy, basically a stranger, night before our 2-year anniversary. So obviously that blew our lives up. Probably the hardest thing I've ever had to walk through in my life. And that was about 1.5 years ago. But I made the decision of we are going to double down. And at the end of the day, when I go and meet my maker, I want to say we gave it all we had. And man, it's worked really well since then through a combination of friends, family pouring into us, people from church, literal just miracles. I didn't think we'd be here. Our marriage is currently better than it's ever been. However, dude, I feel like a wreck sometimes. I'm just tired. And I think I'm struggling with a lot of trust things that I know in my head I can go a little bit easier, but I just feel like I'm really stepping in and trying to control everything. And I don't know if that's a place out of insecurity. You know, there's always that voice in my head that is like, life is always going to be different. And I think I know that the perspective I have to have is I can't view it as we're trying to fix an old relationship. We have a new one. It's just tough, dude.
Yeah. It's funny because this man is, well, not funny and haha, but I think it's crazy that we talk about men sacrificing their happiness for their family versus women sacrificing their family for their happiness. And this man is clearly not happy. But what he seems like he's trying to do is give it everything that he has. That way he can say, well, you know, at the end of my life, I left no stone unturned. Yeah, she did me wrong. Yeah, she cheated on me. She had an affair on me. But I can honestly say and be happy with myself. And that's what integrity looks like. That's what integrity looks like. People blowing stuff up in your face, trashing you, dogging you out, and you still say, I'm going to do right by you. I'm going to try to do the best, even though you're dogging me out. That's what a lot of modern women want men to openly do, is say, even though you're dogging me out, I'm going to do right by you. Even though you're trying to discourage me, even though you're trying to trash me in public, I'm still going to do right by you. I still want, even though you trying to tear me down and tear everybody around me down, I'm still going to protect you. I'm still going to provide for you, pay for stuff. Even though I don't know you, even though you spit in my face, I'm still going to say, pay for this woman's coffee. And they're trying to use that. And this is why a lot of men are walking away. They're trying to use that integrity of a man for money, for gain. That's manipulation. That's exploitation. That's deceitfulness. And men are clocking it. And they're saying, you know what? Kudos to this man, but I ain't this man. And I'm not going to do that. That's what these modern women are mad about.
As a former matchmaker, what surprised you most about what women think they want versus what actually creates a healthy relationship? And maybe we kind of like touch on it a little bit. I don't know.
There were certain things that I could almost predict. So one was that, so women who hire matchmakers generally are very career focused, right? They're high achieving women, and they really have this mindset that and the men too, right? You know, but like usually people who hire a matchmaker have a mindset around like, I have the resources to get help for this. The same way you go, you know, I have the resources to have a house cleaner, right? Right. So they're very career focused. So they would really come in and describe a business partner.
Got it.
And what was pretty common was that men who were at that level, they don't want to feel in competition with a woman. And we can dissect that. We can talk about how dumb that is, whatever, how insecure, whatever. That's just how, I'm just telling you how it is, right?
It's just what it is. Yeah.
It's just how it is. So they don't want to feel in competition. And so they want, you know, they want to go, oh, I want someone down here. And a woman's like, for me to respect him, he's got to be here or here.
Yes.
And so it just ends up being like this mismatch of what they're looking for. And they weren't describing someone they want to come home to after one of their like challenging days, or after they're like on a trip, you know, a business trip. It's all stressful. They weren't describing that.
So first of all, as a dating coach, I think you said matchmaker, breakup recovery coach, I think is what it says down here. I think it's kind of silly that you're saying that men not wanting to come home and face more competition is dumb and insecure. I don't get that. I'm hoping I misunderstood you and you were talking about women wanting to come home and be in competition. I hope that's what you're talking about. Because if not, why would a man want to be in battle all day? I mean, even if you look at my wife is watching these old shows where you think about Game of Thrones, right? How many times did the man come off of the battlefield and get in a fight with a woman? How many? Vast majority of the time, if I can remember correctly, he came home to celebration. He came home to, I mean, obviously there's problems, but he came home to a lot of times wanting to go to those brothels. And I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying, basically, that's what a man was coming home to, is that coming home to do a little something, right? So why now? If this is such a popular show, why now do you think that a man, if you're judging by this, would want to come home to anything different? Maybe a man doesn't necessarily every day want to come home to, well, it wouldn't hurt, but maybe he doesn't necessarily come home to a woman on the bed, ready, dinner on the table. A lot of men know that's probably not realistic. You're probably not going to happen every day, right? I would love it if it happens once a year. At this point, for some of these modern women, they'll never do it. But what you're asking a man to come home to instead of peace is competition. It essentially, think about going out there to battle and then having to like fight for your life, and then coming home and have to I think what is it called, jousting, having to do that. Think about that. Think about having to fight all day. Your life could be taken like that. You got a sword to your throat. Somebody comes in miraculously and saves you, and then having to march all the way home, right? Tired, hungry, hurting, just to come home and say, okay, now you're going to the Coliseum. Go on in there and fight for your life again. Does that sound appealing to anyone? Like to anybody? From a modern woman's vantage point, she loves it because she's hearing about the stories from war. She's not actually in war. Oh, I just love this man. And it's the thought about it. It's the idea. But then when she comes home, quote unquote, so to speak, from work, it's stimulating for her. Oh, I want a little bit more drama. Except she's not the one in the actual arena fighting. It's the man. It's the man doing it. And she's sitting up there with all of the other spectators looking down. Oh, bravo, bravo. That's what that looks like, a man versus a woman's life. And I think it's funny because if a woman were to be in a situation where she's a boss babe, she's coming home and saying, I don't want to have to do this, and this. But somehow she thinks a man wants competition. What she wants to do is be at work all day fighting, him fighting. They both come home and then she give all of her stuff to the man and say, now go clean it up. I need to get ready for battle tomorrow. That's what she wants. Now, listen to what happened to me today. Dump, 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 dump. While a man just sits there. That's what it's like. That's what it's like. A man coming home from war. Have to get in the Coliseum, fight, and then after he gets out of the Coliseum, a person is saying, now, instead of you resting, you've got more battles. You got more of them. Here they are. Got another 10. Can we just handle these like tomorrow? I know I'm not gonna be ready to handle them tomorrow, but can we just handle them tomorrow? Nope. All of them got to be done tonight. All of them tonight, right now. Can I just eat? No, they have to be done right now. Let's go. That's what y'all are doing to y'all's men. Tiring them out. That's what you're doing. The man is tired. He's mentally tired. He doesn't want to keep on going on. And then when he starts getting snappy, because humans get tired, and if you continue to push a human for too long, for too much, then they get snappy. Think about somebody being hangry. Modern women understand this, but they just don't understand it in relation to men. They don't want to understand it in relation to men. They only understand it in relation to themselves. I'm tired. Why can't that man understand that I need help around the house? Should a man start doing it and helping around the house? Actually, you're not supposed to do it like that. I want you to do it like this. You can do either or. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Yeah, but this is the best way to skin a cat. Says you. You're not perfect. Yeah, but no, I don't want to hear that. Modern women are a problem, even in the dating landscape for men. Every single place. And you wonder why these women are not getting matches. It's because they're a problem for men. And then you get to the highest level man, you don't have to put up with that. And so they stay boss babes, they stay lonely, they stay by themselves, because that man that they actually want, which young lady confirmed a couple of videos ago, a couple of clips ago, we're all going for the same man. And guess what? If you're not on that man's type of time, you're gone.